what that taste is, Jesse.
Hey.
You know what that taste is? That's a 40 burger. And it tastes like a 50 burger. 1 point away from a 50 burger.
The Cowboys get the dub 49-29. I told you I needed the energy to be different. It was the exact opposite of the end of the first half,
Just
baby.
like your energy's different. Your energy's different from halftime.
Yeah, man, when they give you a reason to be. Let me give a shout out, though, to this Bears fan over here to the right, because she's the reason why my energy got picked up a little bit.
Okay.
She was in there doing a little thing, holding it down for the Bears, and I had to represent over here now.
Just for y'all who don't know, this lady's like 55, 50. She's definitely closer to 60. This lady got under Sky's skin.
I ain't like it.
He was in here like, a word?
Ain't nobody else in here. He's like, y'all don't want the smoke?
He's like, a word?
It's gonna be quiet.
He's like, I ain't Gramps. I'm on your head. And he didn't let up.
No, sir. Neither did the Cowboys.
No.
They came out. The Bears put up a big fight, and we'll break down what I thought was the most important drive of the game. But they get the dub 49-29. They get into a much-needed bye week at 6-2, just banged up. But, hey, man, you get the dub, you get the dub. That's all you can ask for.
At the end of the day, all you want to do is go out there and get the dub, especially heading into a bye week, because at the end of the day, what ended up happening is you have to sit on this for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys got an opportunity to get out there, and they put a lot of good stuff on film. Like, when we go back and you watch this game, now there's going to be some points in times where you may want to break your TV, and that's fine. Or you may want to crash your, smash your laptop, or however you're watching it. But there's a lot of good stuff that we've kind of been accustomed to. At the end, Dak Prescott missed 6 passes today. He was 27 of 21 for 250 yards. It feels like forever since we've seen a 250-yard passing game.
Literally not one single one all year.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So we're dating back to last season since we had a 250-yard passing game. We saw a dominant running game for the Cowboys. Tony Pollard, 14 carries for 131 yards. That young man made himself a few dollars, if I may say so myself, today, right?
Man.
Tony. I put toe, T-O-E-N-E-E-E, K-N-E-E, Tony. Tony Pollard came in today, stepped up, and did a major, huge thing for the Cowboys in the running game in the absence of Ezekiel Elliott. So, there's a ton to be happy about and thankful about. You're talking almost close to almost 500 yards of total offense, 242 yards of total offense. Again, something else that we have not seen in a very, very long time. 6 touchdowns. I mean, all these things that we didn't see until the first half of last season, where we seen these kind of numbers. We got a chance to see them today, and it happened right before the bye week. So kudos to the Cowboys for staying locked in, staying focused, and getting the dub versus the Bears today.
I thought you saw the difference in having a Dak Prescott at quarterback today. You saw the difference in having a quarterback who can make those throws that he made, has the confidence to do it, and can respond the way he did. I want to touch on what I said earlier. I thought the drive of the game was when they came out, went 3 and out, got the Bears to go 3 and out, then the Cowboys went 3 and out, and the Bears went down and scored. Made it 23-29.
Yes.
23-29. Big series here.
Yeah.
What does Dak go out there and do? Bing, 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 bing. We get down there, we run it in for a touchdown. That was the biggest drive of the entire game, because right after that, if I'm not mistaken, I think the fumble 6 happened there, which was a boneheaded play by Justin Fields. He must have thought he was still in college or something like that. But I thought that was an extremely impressive drive after that to match it. And you just see, like, sometimes, we say this so many times, your defense is going to have a day.
Yeah.
There's going to be a day where your defense is not the defense you wanted it to be. And today was that day, and that's something we'll touch on. They gave up over 240 yards on the ground rushing. But how many times can you say, hey, your defense will give up 240, 29 points, right? They're going to get a pick that puts them in the red zone, in the red area to end the half, and you're going to win the game
by 20
points. I mean, it's one of those things, man, where the Cowboys have weird games, but this time it was on their side of the ball, and it was on their side of their favor, and they get the dub right now. I think you can look at this from a overtime. Panthers, Falcons. We always get these. I love these 12 o'clock games. We get a chance to see all these excellent things here. But, man, so many players to talk about here. It's hard to do it all in 30 minutes. But
let's talk about the first play we should talk about.
Tony Pollard.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tony Pollard, we said this was his money game, is what you called it. And he only had 15 touches, Jesse.
Yep.
15 touches for over 140 yards, 3 touchdowns. The first time a Cowboys player has 3 touchdowns and rushing touchdowns in a game since, believe it or not, Joe Randall in 2015. I remember
Meat
that
on the
game.
bones?
Meat on the bones, cologne draws, Joe Randall. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he did that. I think it was against the Falcons, maybe. But anyway, so Tony Pollard came out here, had a day, and I don't know if I was speaking to hyperbole or not during the game, but I'm hoping this type of output allows the team to look at him and say, maybe he does need to touch the ball minimum 15 times, because he can give you so many huge chunk plays, and he had like 3 or 4 10-plus yard games in this game, man.
Today, what you saw from Tony Pollard was the complete game. And when we go back, I'll look more at the blocking portion of it. But what you saw today was Tony Pollard be able to run the ball on the inside, run the ball on the outside, cut back and run the ball, break tackles. I mean, you saw everything that you wanted and needed to see in a running back who most people would say he don't run with power, he don't do this. You saw everything from Tony Pollard today, and my pregame prediction was this was going to be a money game for him. And I think whether the Cowboys are going to pay him or someone else is going to pay him, this young man today with this performance, 14 carries, 131, and 3 tutties. That right there is a statement game when you're down your quote-unquote leading running back, that they say, Zeke comes in, he tenderizes the defense, and he softens it up for Tony Pollard to come in. Tony said, I don't need no tenderizer. I don't need no tenderizer. I don't need no adobo. I don't need no Tony. I don't need no slap your mamas.
I'm all that.
I don't need none of that. I don't need none of what y'all talking about I need to get going. Give me the rock and get the hell out of my way. Let me do what it is that I do. And I can run the football. I can run it inside. I can run it outside. I can make guys miss. I can break tackles. I can do everything you need me to do when you need me to do it if you just give me the ball.
And you said make guys miss. How many times did he make guys miss at the line of scrimmage? I mean, that is not an easy feat.
No.
And that's not a knock on Ezekiel Elliott, but that's not in his game anymore.
Right.
His game is not going to make you miss at the line of scrimmage that way. He's going to fall forward and get you the tough yards. But this is why a lot of us been screaming for Tony Pollard. Just give him the rock.
Yeah.
And I ain't going to say don't stop giving him the rock, but he should be minimum 15 touches a game. And they were trending towards that way, but we got a chance to see it today.
There was a play in this game where, and this is, let me be very, very clear when I say this. This isn't, I don't have to down another man to elevate another man. This is in no way a shot at Zeke. But there was a play in the game where Tony Pollard got the ball, and the Bears had penetrated. And then he just takes off to the left. He breaks one tackle, and then he outruns what would have been a 3 or 4 yard loss to a first down. Zeke is not there anymore. These are the type of plays that Tony Pollard can make more often than any other player that we have on this roster. So being able to see him do that, to break a tackle from a linebacker and lineman and run away from defenders, that was so special to watch today. And again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but this young man earned and made himself. He's already done it before, but today was that stamp when you go back into the office with Steven and Jerry Jones and you go, hey guys, so you're going to pay me or someone else is going to pay me.
Somebody else is going to pay me.
I've shown it to you in a multitude of ways. I've shown it to you when you've made me a combo back with me and Zeke Elliott. I also showed you when you did it with a backup quarterback. And I also showed them when our leading running back, or whoever you want to call it, went down. Oh yeah, I just went for $130 and some change.
On 14 touches.
On 14 touches. Not just something light. And then again, in the formation of what he did it in. It wasn't just like everything was bounced to the outside. It was,
or these gaping holes.
He had another play where he got into the lane and he was going left and put his foot in the ground and cut back right, made a dude miss. Boom.
And then went back left.
Yeah.
He's impressive, man.
That's honestly, you can't even teach that. Like that's one of those instinctual things that you just have as an athlete. God has sprinkled a little bit more of that juice on you to be able to do that, and you saw it with Tony Pollard.
100%, man. This is the post-game show. Cowboys get the dub 49-29, presented by Callahan Motor Company. Callahan Motor Company is the finest, most quality-oriented pre-owned dealership in the DFW area. And as a family-owned and operated business, they have served the public since 2009, from sales to trade-ins to finance. You can count on Callahan Motor Company with over 150 vehicles regularly in stock in over 25 different brands. Callahan Motor Company has the perfect car for you, so drop by their dealership in Keller, Texas, or visit CallahanMotorCompany.com to find your ride today. One thing the Cowboys did not have to do is rely on or ride on their passing game, but they were, again, back-to-back weeks, Jesse, efficient in the passing game. 21 for 27, minus the heat check throw in that first half, which almost set me off fire. How frustrated I was with that goddamn play call. And then it's so interesting. He ends the first half on a glitch, and then ends the game on a glitch. Yeah. 3rd and 12, you're up 20. We decide to do a play-action pass. I mean, what are we, Kellen? Stop
he just can't help himself sometimes. I'm telling you, he just cannot help himself sometimes, and he's just trying to sneak those glitches in every now and again.
Yeah, it's going now you get a sack, right? Now the sack looks like it was on you, Kellen. I'm not putting that on anybody else. You don't do that. But other than that, man, you had CeeDee Lamb, who led the team today, 5 receptions, 77 yards, and a touchdown on a beautiful seam shot from Dak Prescott. And then again, this is why I've been saying this for a long time. People want to just get rid of Dalton Schultz. I say no. I say you keep all these guys. Dalton Schultz, Peyton Hendershot, Jake Ferguson all made good plays today, and Schultz showed you why that connection that he has with Dak is important. He had 6 receptions on 7 targets, 74 yards, and a ton of important catches that got you first downs or got you into 2nd or 3rd and short. I am not one of those that want to just get rid of Dalton Schultz. I say use all these dudes. Use all 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. They all do something for you that can help you in this offense, man. And Dalton Schultz was your 2nd leading receiver today. And then Michael Gallup might not have a lot of yards, a lot of receptions, but they made it a point to get him involved early, and it paid off. He had some of those slants, right? You got him involved in a nice little out. I did like this game plan today. I did like, obviously, the execution from the players as well. But that was the passing game. What did you see in the passing game department?
No, you're absolutely right. It was crisp. It was precise. It was throws that Dak Prescott likes. And when you talk about from the receiver perspective, it's can I get the receivers running routes that they enjoy running? For Michael Gallup in particular, I've watched him the last couple of weeks, and the routes that they asked him to run were routes that he just not comfortable with running with right now. Those routes where he has to start and stop and start again, those are just routes that he's not comfortable with doing with the way that his leg is recovering. When you get him going at one speed, the slants, the bang eights, the posts, routes like that where he doesn't have to stop and restart again, those where he eats. And I thought today that they made an assertive effort to do that early on, often. They got it in there. Same thing with CeeDee Lamb. They moved him around, got him in different angles on found matchups. They found a mouse in the house, and they attacked it early on. I mean, they were just doing so many things. It was such a rhythm in the flow, and that's what you want from your play caller. Like, find your flow. Find your bag, Kellen Moore, and get in it and stay in it. Don't be glitching, but get in your bag and stay in it, and then throw the throws that are comfortable and unique to the receivers that you're throwing into and the one that your quarterback liked. And that's what they did today, and it worked out tremendously for 250 yards passing.
And one of my favorite plays, passing plays of this game, has nothing to do with the deep shot, has nothing to do with the route. It was something I've been asking for the Cowboys to do for a long time. When you see I got this running back on this linebacker and I got numbers over here, there's nobody else out here, and you know if I'm off of this action or whatever it may be, off of this route combination over here that's going to distract this linebacker, get the damn running back in one-on-one on a quick swing pass. And it was to Malik Davis, which almost was a touchdown.
Yeah.
It didn't get it, but that's something that I'm like, yes, keep that in your bag. I've been saying this all week. The plays have been creative sporadically. I'm waiting to see it put together for a full game and full set of games. Right. I saw it in I believe it was the Giants game, and I saw it today for the most part, really. I mean, minus maybe 1 or 2 possessions, but this was just an onset. We didn't watch the tape again. We'll go back and look, but there's going to be a lot of drives. I'm going to go back and say, man, I can't wait to watch this one because there were some cool plays. I even put them in my note here, man. The play to Dak Prescott with the touchdown run.
That was awesome.
I mean, just a beautiful play. The seam bang shot for the touchdown to C.D. Lamb. The swing pass to Malik Davis, and even run plays. You know, Tony Pollard did some cool things on the. Looks like we're doing a little bit more zone, some stretch wide zone stuff over the last few weeks as well. But it's going to be a fun game to watch the film with on the offensive side of the ball. Let's flip that thing, though. Let's flip it real quick, okay? Because we had the Turf Tough matchup this week, and it was not won by the Cowboys, I don't think. And the Turf Tough matchup was DeMarcus Lawrence against Justin Fields. Yeah. And let me just let y'all ponder on that real quick as I sit here and talk about the Turf Tough matchup, or the Turf Tough DFW Turf. Listen, there's nothing better than a Cowboys victory, especially when you drop a 40 burger, and it was almost a 50 piece. It was a 40 burger with a side of some nuggets, you know? The only thing better is not having to spend hours every week mowing your lawn or spending thousands of dollars every year on lawn maintenance just to have a yard that dies during the summer and gets muddy when it rains. But what if I told you you could save all of that time and money, all while having a yard that looks as green and clean as the Cowboys turf they just played on and got that 49-29 victory? Well, thanks to DFW Turf Solutions, your perfect lawn is only a call away. DFW Turf is the #1 artificial grass company in the DFW area. Visit dfwturf.com or call them 940-365-9165. Yeah, Jesse, I don't think the Cowboys quite won that matchup for a multitude of reasons. I think for maybe like 80-90% of the time he had a shot on Justin Fields. He just kept attacking his inside shoulder. And I even tweeted it, I think, you got to stay on that outside shoulder and make him step up. Look what Jaron Kearse did. He stayed on that outside shoulder, made him step up, and he got a sack. But Justin Fields was able to sneak around and get some of these extended plays and run around for, 40 yards or something like that. Might have been 60 yards. And a good chunk of those came on DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah, now I will say, I thought DeMarcus killed him one time.
Oh, my goodness, I love that.
I thought he killed him. I literally, like, not an exaggeration, I thought he died.
He ran through him.
I thought he was going to die. I thought that was the moment where the impact was so great that his heart stopped. But, yeah, I think the thing about what Tank was doing was, in his approach and his attack, it was all kill. It was all kill shots instead of being under control and just completing the tackle, right? Because Justin Fields is so tricky that sometimes he has that ability to kind of know when you're going to be there, feel it, that Romo sense of, all right, I'm going to let you come, then I'm going to spin out the back end of it. And too often in this game, you saw where he was in the grasp or soon to be in the grasp of Cowboys defenders, and he just spun his way out, or ran around them, used his pure athleticism. So that should have been one of those keys to the game of, hey guys, we gotta be on top of that because we know what Justin Fields is, and those are the things that a little bit worries me because we're gonna see that again. We're gonna see it again.
I think it's good teaching tape, hopefully. Because Jalen didn't do it as much on you, because that's the team we're talking about.
Right.
Jalen didn't do as much on you as Justin did. And we talked about that going into this game. Justin Fields is going to carry the ball more. He's going to try to make plays with his legs more, and that's what happened. Now, eventually, he did figure it out because he got a sack on Justin Fields towards the end of that. Was it Justin Fields?
Yeah, it was. Justin Fields got away from him.
Oh, yeah.
And then he went to go run,
back.
and then Justin Fields, instead of him like you said before, he ran back into a sack again.
He did that a couple times.
Yeah.
How many times did they sacked him? Like four times today.
Yeah, 4 sacks.
And I think at least 3 of them sacks, man, he kind of ran himself back into it. But I thought you saw Dan Quinn scheming up, making him come back inside. Guys just had to keep that outside shoulder containment, man.
Well, I think what Dan Quinn was, he was blitzing more athletic guys. I'm not taking that, but he was blitzing more of the Donovan Wilson, Dono Kearse, guys who can kind of get there, change direction. And, it's different when you're 285 pounds and you're trying to go after a guy and he goes and cuts. And now, when you watch Tank, he got to stop all that momentum to turn around. Again, Micah is different. We don't put Micah in that category. So when you blitz guys like Donovan Wilson and you blitz guys like Jaron Kearse, those are guys who are more inept to put their foot in the ground, change directions, be able to handle guys in space like a Justin Fields. So it worked in the favor for the Cowboys in the second half.
Yeah, defensively, I would say from a collective situation, it's probably not going to be a fun film to watch because there was a lot of big plays made on the Cowboys today. A lot of big plays that came with the L, right? No. I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing with you. But Donovan Wilson led the team with 8 tackles, and he had some pretty dang on good tackles in that game.
Yeah.
Jaron Kearse also with 8, and Leighton Vander Esch with 8. And within the collective not great film were great plays being made. Leighton Vander Esch, shout out to him making a play. I always get on Leighton Vander Esch about, he's there. You know, he's not a bad player, but he's not this playmaking guy. He made a play. Forced a fumble. Micah Parsons picks it up. He made a play. Trayvon Diggs got the interception, but it got called back. It is what it is. And also, Dante Fowler, 2 tackles for loss and a sack.
Yeah.
So it won't be pretty film collectively, but there will be plays within it. But I am not going to lie to you. I can't wait to go see how Damone Clark got acclimated because, ladies and gentlemen, Damone Clark's season is here. It is here.
Yeah, I mean, from the look of it, early in the game, he was struggling getting off blocks. And it's his first game out. There's a little bit of nerves. There's a little bit of hesitation of, am I looking at the right thing? So I think getting that out of his system, getting some reps. I know Barr had kind of was injured throughout this game. That's why he was getting a lot of those reps that he got today. But great job of getting him some reps, let him get his feet wet. When you win a football game, it always is easier to deal with. But the thing that this Cowboys team has to figure out fast is you have to, and you just, you brought in Jonathan Hankins, but still, you can't give up 240 yards rushing. And even if you take away the 60,
there's nothing. There's still
that's 100 and 90 yards, 200 yards, whatever it is.
Right.
180 yards. You're still way too much rushing that you've given up at this juncture of the game. You gotta hunker down, man, and be better in that run game because eventually you're gonna run into a team who has a better quarterback and a decent running game, and that's really going to be something that's going to put you in those games where at the end of the game you're going to be looking around and saying, "What the hell happened? We couldn't stop the run."
That's why I was like, hey, man, this Jonathan Hankins pickup that's awesome. Great. You get another big guy to put next to Osa or next to Neville or next to Bohanna, or he fills in for Bohanna. That's great. But that was never my concern. My concern has always been, how do we deal with the eye candy? How do we deal with the horizontal stuff? How do we deal with the quarterback that can run? How do we deal with a tackle coming around pulling? It's so hard to be like, hey, man, great job when you gave up 180 yards to running backs and 240 total. Yeah. I would say you did not win that battle. You did not win that turf tough matchup. And I don't think it's far-fetched to say that specific style of rushing is a full-blown problem for the Cowboys. I don't think that's far-fetched, Jesse.
No, it's not. It's not at all. And I know that Dan Quinn has found something special in Micah Parsons as an edge rusher, but maybe you got to go sit back down during this offseason and say, is he better suited for us being able to stop the run at linebacker? At least play him there a little bit more, so that in the event that we get into a win or go home type situation, you're not trying to now just scramble to put him back there, because Micah's been playing a lot more just exclusively defensive end or the rush in or whatever you want to call it, and we're struggling at stopping the run at the line of scrimmage at the linebacker position. So maybe kind of getting him in that situation a little bit more will help out some.
Yeah.
But you got to try something that's a little bit different, because what you're doing right now isn't the answer to stopping the run. You've been getting by doing it, but it's not the true answer of stopping the run.
Yeah, you get the bye week. You hope you go into the bye week. Dan Quinn gets a chance again. Now you got 2 games, right, where this type of rushing style gave you fits, and you got a chance to kind of figure this out. You got 2 games, and I don't think you'll see another team like that until you get to Philly. But we talk about the playoffs. If you get to the playoffs, you may run into a certain type of style. Fortunately, there's not many.
But not even the RPO situation, a decent running game. Like, you're going to face a Minnesota team. You're going to face a Green Bay team.
I actually feel better about that.
With them running the football.
I feel good about that.
Okay.
Yeah. I've watched them enough to figure out what the issue is here. It is the horizontal, unless, I don't know what A-Rod's doing. If he's doing RPO stuff, then, hey, maybe that gives him trouble. But it's this horizontal stuff. You got a tight end coming. LaFleur does actually like to do that. You got a wide receiver. And look, you got 70 yards were from your quarterback. Actually, might have been more than that. And it ended around to a wide receiver, if I'm not mistaken, 2 of them. I think the 33 yards. So, and if 90 yards came from the quarterback and the ending around to the wide receiver, that type of stuff gives the Cowboys trouble, and they have not figured it out. And all they're going to do is say, oh, that works, so I'm going to go copy this situation.
Yeah.
And you said it earlier, and I said it going into the Jalen Hurts game. 11 on 11 ball in the run game is an issue for Dallas Cowboys. Again, fortunately, you're not running into that. I'd much rather go up against a team that does traditional run stuff because you got Hankins, you got Osa, you got, I think, D.A. and DeMarcus Lawrence. They play the run game better when it's traditional. When it's non-traditional, it is what it is. Right. It's an issue, and the Cowboys got to figure out a way to clean it up. And you'd rather figure out a way to clean it up coming off a victory 49-29 than not.
I agree.
I tell you that.
I agree.
Other than that, man, that's about it. I mean, wasn't too much going on from a special team standpoint. Our guy, Brett Maher, perfect, 7 for 7 in the extra points. Kevontae Turpin only got 2 shots at the punt return, 13 yards for his longest one there, 15 total. You'll take a 13-yard gain, though, in the punt return all day. I would say outside of that disastrous end of the half, it was more of a cleaner game moving forward for the Dallas Cowboys, and before that for the Dallas Cowboys. Things to clean up, but you always want to clean them up after a victory.
Yeah, and I think this is the progression that you want with the Cowboys. Last week you saw them with Dak first coming back off that thumb injury, and you kind of found a little rhythm there. They came back today. I think it was really key and smart for the Cowboys to sit Zeke Elliott because they witnessed what happened last year when they was like, hey, let's just tough it out and then go into the bye week, and it never healed up for them. So it's kind of like, you know what, let's not repeat the same mistake again this year. So giving him a rest, now you emerge Tony Pollard, and now that even adds another wrinkle to teams going forward of how to prepare for a football team. Mm-hmm. When you see him, you're like, man, you know what, now that he had a full game, it's even more that they have to add to the plate of how to stop this two-headed monster in the running game. But for the Cowboys in general, I think it's just another progressive step in their quote-unquote ramping up process to getting back to that offense matching that intensity of the defense. And if you can get this kind of output, 250 yards passing, 130 yards rushing from your running back. With
200 total.
Yeah, 200 total. With that defense, I think you found yourself on the winning end of a lot of football games. Again, there's something that you have to clean up, and that's with every football game. But to your point, you much rather clean things up and work through things and do all those things after a dub than you do a loss.
Yeah, I said the reset button was going to have to be hit when Dak got back because you found a way to get by and win with Cooper Rush, but it's football, it's reality, these are humans, this isn't Madden. You entered another guy who's like, man, I could do way more than that, but I also don't want to do too much. You saw that last week, okay, we're figuring this thing out, but it also was an efficient game. Now you build on top of that, right? We talk about that all the time. Build on top of that. And I thought you saw that from a game plan standpoint. And then Dak executed it. The offensive line executed. The rushing offense executed. Now we just got to figure out how we get both of these sides of the ball to play consecutively at the same time. It's always kind of one or the other. But when you walk away with the dub, that's all that really matters, man.
Yep.
And you ramp up, you reset, you get in this groove, you go into the bye week because I think you're going to need all of that to come together. I know the Packers aren't the Packers, but you're going to Lambeau. You think Mike McCarthy doesn't want to go into Lambeau and just put up a 50-burger on that quarterback and that franchise that blamed him when them boys over there at 2-4, 3-4, whatever the hell they are? I'm pretty sure he wants to go do something disgusting to them over there. And I would love to have Ezekiel Elliott and on that grass against should have been a decent defense, but that's why I think it was important to rest him and get some rest going into this bye week.
Yeah, absolutely. And say what you want about Green Bay. They've had our number for the last couple years. Regular season and playoffs.
It's like Tampa, right? Where it's like, oh, they suck, but you ain't beat them.
We haven't beat them, right? It's like there's certain teams that usually whatever they are, we haven't figured out a way to defeat that quarterback. Even when he was on one leg, we struggled to defeat him. So, they have to come out and continue to work and continue to get better, because the road doesn't get easier for the Cowboys in the sense of you're becoming a part of you've already been the hunted because you're the Cowboys. But as your record grows and as you get into the season, people are either going to be we have to win to keep position of our own in the division in the playoffs, or we're trying to beat you to spoil your plans of playoffs. So as the season grows on, it becomes more and more. Every game becomes more and more valuable for what that means in the standings overall in the NFC, especially with Philadelphia winning again today.
Yeah, just whooped on. We figured that was going to happen, but hopefully this rematch later on in the season means something, because they're going to see a completely different team in my opinion. So I'm ready for it. But you got to get there.
Yes.
Work your way. Continue to build. Tomorrow, make sure you check me out, A to Z Sports Dallas Live. We'll be having a cookout when you get the dough. We got a cookout. You already know who's at the head of the table on that one there. But we're going to have some fun with it. Jesse, let them know where they can find you this week.
You can find me at A to Z Sports. You and I will do ours on Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
You can find me hanging with the boys at DallasCowboys.com 5 days a week at 1 p.m. Central Time. You can find me on tomorrow and on Friday at Believe Network on YouTube with Jeff Kavanaugh, recapping this game and getting ready. Recapping this game basically because we got a bye week next week, so we have to get ready for a game.
That's right. We don't have to get ready for a game. You can also find me on the Volume Vash Lumberry Live tomorrow. We're gonna have a ball with this one, baby.
You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Fourth and Long.
At Skywalker Still. Listen, y'all have a fantastic rest of your day. Jesse.
It's 3:43, baby! Let's go!
We out of here, 3:45, baby!
We out of here, baby. Cowboys get the dub. We love y'all. Peace.
Peace. Oh, we didn't do the must. You didn't let us
hold on. Come on back. Wait a minute. Come back.
Yeah. Okay, now
we out of here.
On the road to the Super Bowl. Every game on the schedule crucial, it take a toll. It don't matter if we at home or on the road. You try to tackle, I'll truck a sucker and take it soul. I'm staring at 4th and goal, gotta find an open hole. A linebacker just close a hole where I'm supposed to go. So now I'm thinking my centers are all pro, so I trust he can make a walk for wherever the ball go. Yeah, there's 5 seconds on the play clock. The crowd was loud, but they stopped. Now it's silent while they watch. They stand off in the red zone. All I see is red home. Watch me get this touchdown and this W and head home.